In the maths test, Ross answered 80 of the questions correctly. He answered 20 questions correctly. How many questions were on the maths test? Well, look, 80% equals 20 questions. Now, how do you change 80% into 100%? Yes? Divide by 80 turns it into 1%, and then you multiply by 100. So let's try this out. What we're doing is we're getting 20 and we're multiplying it by 100 and we're dividing by 80. So let's see what happens here. What happens with the two zeros? To cancel. What happens when you multiply 20 by 10? 20 by 10? 200. And what is 200 divided by 8? 20 divided by 8? 2. Remainder? 4. And as Thomas said, you bring down the 0. 8 into 40? 5. The answer is, there were 25 questions. Any questions about that? Happy enough? Okay, let's move on. 80% of a number is 600. Calculate that number. How do we change 80% into 100%? Divide by? Divide by 80, multiply by 100. So you're going to divide by 80, which means 80 is on the bottom, and multiply by. Now, let's see. We can take away 0 and 0 still. Now what's 10 multiplied by 600?
6,000.
6,000. You just add on the 0. 6,000. And now what we have to do is we have to divide 6,000 by 8 and figure out what we get. Raphael, 60 divided by 8.
7.
Sorry?
7.
7 times, which makes 56, because 7 times 8 is 56. Take it away.
4 and you carry over the 1.
Carry the 0. And 8 into 40?
5.
5 times. And that's 40. That takes it away. Now, bring down the other 0. 80 into 0? 0. The answer is 700 and? Who got 750? Okay, 1 or 2. That is question 6, Harry. I understand that, it's alright. Stephen and I think Gushin did that one, alright? Now, number 7. It's number 7, guys. Trevor saves 12% of his monthly salary. Each month he saves €180. What is his monthly salary? 12% equals, anybody?
180 divided by 12.
Sorry, 12% is 180. Now how do you change 12% into 100% of the money? See, if you have a fraction of something, you need to find out what 100% of it is. If you have 10% of somebody's money, if you find out what 100% of the money is, you find out how much money there was in total. So we're going to divide by 12 and multiply by 100. So that's going to be 180, 12 on the bottom and 100 on top. Okay, let's begin. Might as well multiply 18 by 100. What do we get? 1,000. 18,000. Because there's 3 zeros. Do you see it? 2 here and 1 there. 3 zeros. That's how you multiply them by each other, okay? So now we're going to get 18,000 divided by 12. And what do we get then? 18 divided by 12, Luke? 1's remainder? 6, because 18 minus 12 is 6. And Luke, bring down the 0. 12 into 60 goes 5 times. 60, take away 0. And then finally there's 2 zeros left over, isn't there? So the answer is 1,500. Next one. 8% of the population in a town is 96. Calculate the population in the town. Anybody? Jan?
So you put 8, so you do 96 over 8.
You divide by 8 and multiply by?
100.
So 96 multiplied by 100 over 8. By the way, having the 8 on the bottom is the same as having 90. It's the same thing as this, Jan. It's actually the same thing. Okay? Doesn't matter. Now what's 8 into 96?
12.
Okay, you could always do it like this. 8 into 9, once. And then 8 into 16, twice. So it's 12 multiplied by 100. What's 12 multiplied by 100? 1,200. Okay. Moving on. Rory received a 4% increase in his salary. His new salary is €572 per week. What was Rory's salary per week before the increase? Joey?
So 104.
You had 100% and then you got an increase of 4%, which means your new wage is 104%. Well done, Joey.
So 104% is so 104 divided by 572.
No, 104% is 572. So how do you bring it to 100%? So how do you turn 104 into 1? Divide by? You divide by 104. So you divide by 104. When you divide 104 by 104, it turns into? And how do you turn 1 into 100%? And you get 100%. So what you need to do is you need to divide by 104 and multiply by 100. Now this is difficult. Now, what's 572 multiplied by 100?
57,200.
57,200. Now we're going to divide that by 104. Okay, Oisin, will you count up in 104s for me, please?
104, 208, 312.
Yeah.
416, 519,
20.
624.
Well done.
728, 832.
Yeah.
936.
Well done. Okay, we stop there. Okay, how many times does 104 go into 572? Still on Ocean?
5 remainder 4, or 5 remainder
52. And finally, it doesn't go into 52, but it'll go into 500 and? So 520 divided by 104? And then 0. So 550. 550 was his old salary. Somebody want me to do number 10? No? Does anybody want me to do number 10? Okay, moving on. 13, the last one. Okay, Aaron. 8% increase of a holiday. So what does that mean, the charge? What is the percentage that this represents?
100%.
It usually represents 100%, but this word here means it's increased by 8%. 108%, that's well done. Now Aaron, what do you have to do? What is 108% equal to?
583.
Okay, now what is how do I change 108% into 1%?
Divide 108% into 580.
And then how do I change 1% into 100%?
Multiply by 100.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to multiply by 100 and we're going to divide by 108. Okay, let's multiply by 100 first. What happens when you multiply this by 100?
The decimal goes back 2 places.
2 places. Perfect. And what's the answer?
58,320.
Perfect, yeah? And now we're going to divide that by 108. So, Aaron, what is 108 into 58,320? Now, let's take it slowly. I want you to count up on 108s for me. 108, what's the next one?
216.
After that?
324.
After that?
432.
After that?
540.
Yeah, after that?
648.
After that?
756.
And after that?
864.
Perfect, after that?
974.
72, sorry. Okay, let's start dividing, Aaron. 108 into 583.
It goes 5 times remainder 43.
5 times remainder 43. Bring down the 2. 108 into 432.
4 times.
No remainder, right?
Yeah.
And then finally, bring down the 0. 108 into 0.
0.
540. So his old wage was 540. Okay, let's stop here. Well done.